All right. Hey, Crown Council members, Stuart Anderson. Welcome to the Crown Council live stream. I'm grateful to have you with us today. Whether you're joining us live or whether you're joining us recorded, we're grateful for this community, thankful for the opportunity that we have to spend time with you every week, every day. This live broadcast is our attempt to join our community together to show you the stories and the people and the resources that are available to you in building a culture of success. So, I am grateful to be with you today. It is October 10th, 2024. That is our live stream for today. And we actually have three recorded segments of Crown Council Young Dentists. So right now we are in the process of filling up our 2025 Young Dentist program. And this has been an ongoing program for the last almost 20 years, where we bring on the best and the brightest young dentists from across the country. And we help jumpstart their cosmetic training career and also connect them with the very best in the business when it comes to mentorship, to education, and obviously culture building. So each year there's about 40 to 50 young dentists who come to us, and this is where they start their Crown Council membership with training in the Young Dentist program. So these are three interviews with some doctors who have participated in that program, their experience in the program and the things that they've learned, and especially just to get to meet them as they enter the Crown Council community and they're part of everything that we do. It's just fun to hear their story and to connect with them. So hopefully you enjoy these three interviews. The first is from Tyson Peterson. Grateful for Tyson and thankful for the time that he took to share his own personal journey, the things that he learned in the Young Dentist program, and what he's doing in his practice today. So we'll go there first. Grateful for Tyson, and enjoy this 20-ish minute interview with Tyson Peterson.
So we're with Tyson Peterson. Tyson, it is early Wednesday morning, so we're a day before the live stream recording because you obviously got a busy day ahead. Can you introduce where you're going to go to work and what your practice is like, so everybody kind of gets to know you here and what you do?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay.
So I am in Logan, Utah. We're up close to the Idaho border, up in the mountains. We're off to work. I've got a 4-op single doc practice. And so we'll be busy today, bouncing back and forth between those 4 rooms, but that's what we're up to today.
Nice. Can you tell everybody a little bit about where your journey started in dentistry, how you got into it, what inspired you to be a dentist? Why did you choose this profession? Was there a mentor or early goal as a kid, or I don't know, is there what kind of moved you into this profession?
Yeah. So as I was a little kid, I was a cavity kid growing up. I was the kid who would leave my dental checkup with 5, 6, 7 cavities. So I spent my fair amount of time hanging out at the dentist office.
Okay.
The dentist that I had, for whatever reason, he just intrigued my interest. He was always happy at work. He would sing to us while he was getting us numb.
What?
And he I get to see him. He's still working, and so I get to see him at our state's dental conference most years. And I think he was the first guy to really, I saw him and I was like, he seems like he likes his job. And so I think from a young age, I was intrigued by dentistry. As I got older, went through college, I didn't know if that's what I wanted to do, but it kind of was headed down that road. And so as I got into school, that's what stuck with it, kept going. I did have, as I started shadowing, I had a lot of dentists who I shadowed who had good things to say about dentistry. And so I think those are probably some of the biggest things that kind of got me on track to being involved in it. That first dentist I had as a kid, I think was kind of what helped push me into that category, and it's been on my mind, had been on my mind since I was a kid. So
Very cool. And what was school like for you? Was it where'd you go and what was it like?
So my undergrad, I did at Utah State here in Logan. When we left Logan for dental school, I didn't think I'd ever be back, but we love it here. We're up in the mountains. There's skiing. There's playing and water in the summer to go swim in, so we like that. But so I went to Utah State, and then I did dental school at Baylor, Texas A&M in Dallas.
Okay.
And from there, I did a 1-year residency at Idaho State in Pocatello. And after that, I came to Logan to work as an associate. And so I worked for 2.5 years as an associate. And then, sorry, I felt like I was going to sneeze.
Good.
As an associate, we always had the mentality that we wanted to be kind of an owner of a private doc, a single doc practice. So we had been looking, and the office that I ended up buying was probably about 2-3 miles away from my associate office here in Logan. So that gentleman was retiring, and we jumped on the opportunity, and we've been cruising for 4 years now.
Nice.
Maybe I'd say maybe not cruising. Maybe we've been climbing for 4 years now.
This is a huge question. I want to kind of talk about this. So, I mean, a lot of docs that we talk to now, as they're in dental school and exiting dental school, it is a tough thing to decide, okay, what am I doing next? Am I joining as an associate? Am I joining a DSO? Am I going to try to buy a practice? What did you learn from that decision? Would you do it different? Were you glad the way that you were an associate first and you bought a practice? I know this is a lot of questions, but maybe explain the whole process of, this was a great way that I did it. I'm glad I did it this way. Or if I did it again, I'd maybe do something different, starting where you started after dental school.
Yeah, that's what I would say. My wife teases me because she's like I'm a baby stepper type of ease into it type of person.
Me too.
And so for me, because that's what I had the same question, and there's days, as a single doc office, there's some days where it's like, man, it'd be nice to just jump into work and leave all the ownership worries and staff, team, all the things that are involved in taking care of your team and the office, take all those off the plate, and that takes a lot of work and a lot of stress off your shoulders. But I think at the end of the day, for me, even I had some kids coming out of dental school, some of my buddies from school got out alone, bought an office, and they were ready to crank away. And I think that was more their personality of they're ready to jump right in. And I was start in the shallow end and slowly walk into the deep end. Mm-hmm. So having the mentorship from my boss as an associate, I think was pretty big for me as far as helping me get comfortable going from school setting to real life setting. So for me, I would do that again. From associate to being an owner, lots of learning that goes on, like lots of learning that you don't ever anticipate there. But I also think in that same respect, lots of wisdom of why we do things the way we do things, I guess. So deeper understanding of how things have to go in order to make your business successful, and the important things that help your team to be successful. So, I mean, if I had to rewind and do it all over again, with the wisdom I have now, I'd probably jump into owning sooner. But the way my learning process goes, one step at a time, slowly get into it.
Nice. when you talk about what you do to take care of your team, maybe share 2 or 3 things that you feel are that you've learned over the last 3 or 4 years as a business owner that have kind of come slowly that you're like, okay, this is essential for making sure that this practice and my team run smoothly. A system or a philosophy that you've learned or gained over time.
Let's see. For my team, I think, and what my team I think feels as well, is there's always something to somewhere to grow in. That growth mindset of we're in a phase where technology is changing, where insurance is always changing, where clinical skills and materials are always changing. And so as a team, we feel like making that effort to grow when there's room to grow. Steve talked about it at the annual event, that adaptability, as far as keeping a brand current, keeping it up to date with where the world is at, is what keeps a business viable, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And so I think that mindset of how can we improve, how can we do better, even on systems that we look at and we say, hey, this is probably working fine, but when we see opportunities to make it better, to make it more patient friendly, more streamlined, an aspect of growth.
Nice. I was with the company Addit yesterday, and they were talking about you. They really were. It was funny. And then I said, "Well, I'm talking to Tyson tomorrow," and they Addit is one of our resource partners, and they talked about what a great client you are, a great leader you are in their system, and they're just like, we need more Crown Council docs like Tyson. I was like, is this planned? I'm like, I'm literally talking to him tomorrow about his office. So that was cool. That was cool to hear, especially with what a progressive brand they are and what they use. So anyway, hey,
Yeah.
how did we meet each other? How did you get? So we did a Young Dentist program together. Can you talk about that? I don't remember how you were introduced to Crown Council.
Yeah, you bet. So I was the first time I ever heard of the Crown Council. So I had a classmate I went to undergrad with who was also in dental school, and he called me one day and he says, hey, there's a Crown Council event going on in Fort Worth, and he says, and I got a spot for you if you want to go. And I was a 4th year in dental school, and I was kind of like, I don't know, do they let me out of school to go to this kind of stuff? Like, how's this work? So anyways, I got permission to go, and I went, and it was, here I am, a naive 4th year dental student as far as like what actually goes on in the world of dentistry apart from school. And I'm sitting with all these docs, and I'm like, it was a very eye-opening experience to me, as far as like, these guys are here doing more than just like clinical training. They're here to make their teams, their offices be successful and stand apart from the other offices.
Yeah.
And so as I finished school, got through, in my residency and my internship, I kept tabs with the Crown Council. I got the monthly emails, and it's just a community that is set on going the extra mile and on being above and beyond what I think people would expect from a dentist office.
Yeah.
And I think that is, it rings to me. It's it gives us a mindset of what we need, what we can be, rather than just letting the chaos of what it could be kind of run the office. So that's how I first was connected to the Crown Council. And as a young doc, I wasn't sure like how I was going to integrate everything into the office, as far as the Crown Council, tops, all those things. And this last year at the annual event, so this is our second annual event with our team. It was close by in Salt Lake last year, but this most recent one, as a practice owner, putting your team on an airplane and taking them off to an awesome conference like that is for me, I would say it was kind of like a dream come true for me, as far as like, we're being successful, we're able to provide opportunities for growth and learning for the team. That's not only office learning, but high quality of living life learning. And I think me as a boss, that's fun for me to be able to say, hey, we did this as a team. We worked for this and we've been able to achieve it.
Dude, I love hearing that. That's fun. That's nice, since planning the annual event is a huge part of my life. So that's cool to hear. Thanks.
Yeah.
So you guys came home from the annual event. Now, did anything stick? How did you guys apply anything you learned?
Yeah. Well, we've got a gratitude jar started at the office.
Nice.
We've been talking a lot about as far as finding happiness. We had staff meeting last week, and we talked about trials for Amy Purdy, and difficult discussions or conversations from Emily Gregory, and that development of us as a team, of kind of recognizing, hey, like, yeah, this is hard, but how do we make it work? How do we make it okay? Finding the mental space to start our day with some gratitude, kind of put us in that vision of, yeah, we're going to be busy and crazy until lunchtime, but how do we find some happiness in what we're doing? And it's anyways, it's just, I think there's lots of ways to live your life, and that's what putting yourself in a positive mental space to be successful and be happy regardless of what's going on. It makes your team successful, and it makes the office successful, and that makes the patients feel like $1 million. So
nice. Tyson got on stage at the annual event, recognized as one of our mastermind moderators. So inside the Crown Council, hopefully everybody knows there's mastermind groups that we try to put together, dentists from around the country that share their very best practices with each other, keep each other accountable, learn from each other. And Tyson moderates one of those groups. Tyson, could you talk about that group, what you've learned, how it's going as a moderator, ups and downs, challenges, things that are good, things that have come up, maybe not from you, but from other practices, or just anything about that mastermind opportunity that you're doing that you've learned from, or you could share.
Yeah. So we've got a group of docs who are, most all of them are kind of in somewhat similar situations as myself, practice owners or partners, or soon to be partners, or soon to be owners. And it's an awesome group. We learn from one another. I feel like I glean and pick up lots of little gems from all the other docs in our group. It's awesome to have a group of guys where you can kind of throw out whatever questions you have. Hey, what do you guys do for this? Hey, are you having a hard time with this? Or and so when we first started the mastermind group, I wasn't quite sure what to expect as far as what we glean from it.
Right.
I feel like I'm learning the more each of us puts into it, I feel like the more we pull out from it.
Hmm.
And so, and it's small enough that we can ask those questions of, hey, I'm having a hard time with whatever subject it may be at the office, business related, team related, patient related. And so that collective wisdom from the other docs in our mastermind it's awesome. So
Very cool. What have you learned being the moderator? Are you glad you've been doing it, or is it does it add another challenge in your own personal life? I mean, is that something you'll stick with as the leader, or I mean, how is that?
you know what? It does get busy. I mean, as far as I feel like as the moderator, there's some responsibility for like making sure content's
Yeah.
working, making sure the topics that we're talking about are relevant to the other docs in the group. And I've offered the leader spot to the other guys in my group, but they all smile and say, "No, you're good."
You're doing
So,
great. Nice, I love
so
it.
it's been good though. I think we're still kind of young. We've been going just maybe about a year now, just over a year. So I feel like I guess I feel like I'm kind of figuring out, okay, what's going to be beneficial to us. Which we like having those topics to talk about and learn about. All of us take turns presenting on something from our office. We've had some of the Crown Council resource partners present. And so there's learning that goes on, but I think and that's, I guess the guys would have to voice their opinion, the other docs from the group, but I think one of my most favorite times is just being able to throw whatever we have questions on and just kind of get feedback from what everyone else is doing. So hearing their thoughts on those things is a nice feedback tool.
Very cool. Nice. All right, Tyson, as we kind of come in for landing here as we wrap up, if you were to share with a room full of dental students just starting year one, what advice are you giving young docs who are just starting a career in dentistry?
Ooh, I would say,
Yeah,
finding opportunities to balance everything. I by no means would say I'm a prime example of that. I feel like I have weeks where I'm way out of balance with amount of time that I put into either office work, fixing stuff, or other stuff going on. But I think it's easy to get wrapped up in work, 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 work. Which that's it. We got to work, but I think that there's still opportunities to find those moments of relaxation, getting away from the office, finding time to play. I when I got into dentistry, one of the big things that drew me in was the patient connection, being able to have that group of patients that comes back and that you get to see every 6 months. One of the things that I've discovered in myself since I bought my practice is I'm totally happy to just be the general dentist. I feel like I've got a skill set there that I don't have to do everything, I guess, as far as the types of dental work out there. And I feel like when I bring in other docs, other specialists, as far as helping with treatment, it takes stress off of me and it makes better outcomes for whatever we're taking care of. And so that pressure to be the best in everything. You want to be the best at what you do, right? But you don't have to be the best at everything.
Right. I love it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Tyson, I am in the Crown Council, there is such a gigantic space of our oldest doctors who've been with us for 30 years and young dentist doctors who are entering the Crown Council, and to see your enthusiasm and your leadership. And man, I want to see a video of you singing to your patients as they're going under. I got to see it. Send me that video. Send me that video today when your patients are going under. You know you're doing it. Are you doing it? What are you singing to these people?
You know what? I've thought of that often. I don't currently sing to all of them, but the song that my dentist would sing to me while he was getting me done was "Nobody likes me, everybody hates me. I guess I'll go eat worms."
Don't sing that.
Well, I laugh because as a kid I thought it was hilarious, and as I look at it as a dentist now, it's like, oh, that's kind of a depressing one to sing.
We gotta think of a new one.
yeah. I'll work on that for next time I see you.
Okay.
So,
but dude, thank you so much for your example, for leading that mastermind group. And I mean, my takeaway from being with you today is how special it is to hear that experience you guys had at the annual event. Like, that means a lot to me and to the team here. And I'm just grateful for you, and being able to be together at the Young Dentist program was awesome, and just looking forward to having you as part of Crown Council. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here. I'm at the point now where practicing without you guys would kind of be blah.
Blah. No blah. Go eat worms. Okay,
yeah.
All right, dude. Hey, well, have a great day.
All right, we're thankful for Tyson, grateful for the time that we spent with him. What a great part of our Young Dentist program and the Crown Council membership. The next interview is one from our Rodeo Dental Dr. Tulio, one of my most favorite doctors, and his story in becoming a dentist, becoming part of the Crown Council, and becoming part of Rodeo. It is an inspiring story, and one that I hope that you will love. He is an awesome doctor, young doc, just starting his career, with an incredible story of how he began and where he's going. So enjoy Tulio.
Dr. Alvarado.
Yes, sir.
Working for our good friends at Rodeo Dental, and we got to spend the last 2 Young Dentist programs together, which has been so cool to get to know you and be together. And I want to share your journey, your story with the rest of Crown Council, and just I don't know, just chat our casual, just pretend like no one else is even watching. We're just going to share your story. So first of all, when did your day end today for work? Are you still at the office?
I'm not. The day ended at well, first, let me preface my comments by saying thanks Crown Council to reaching out. Had a great time at the event. I hope everyone did as well. So I'm really grateful for you. I'm really grateful for that. My day ended at 6:30 p.m. today.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. We were just talking about where the office is, and but before we get into that, you want to tell your story? Then let's hear about a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and how you got into dentistry. Is that okay?
Sure. So I was born in Mexico, in a city called Nuevo Laredo. It's a border town. The border town is Laredo. So the American side is Laredo, Texas. I was born there, born in Mexico, spent the first 5 years there. After that, came to the U.S. To start school in the U.S. I am the first person in my family to go to college. So that would make me the first person in my family to go to dental school. I chose dentistry because I went to Magnet High School in Laredo, Alexander High School. It was a magnet for health and science. And as part of my rotations was a visit to a private dental office. And when I first went there, that's when I first believed that I could have it all. I said, man, I could help so much here directly, effectively, in a way that I want to. And kind of growing up, I saw how there was such a need in Laredo based on where we come from, based on our socioeconomic status. And I said, man, if I could really make this happen, I could make a difference here.
And how did you make, I mean, I'm really interested in how you made it happen. I mean, when you started on your journey, are you doing this alone? Did you have a mentor? How did you pull it all together?
So I would say one of my biggest mentors was Dr. Jose Gonzalez. He's a private practice owner in Laredo. I met him in my Alexander Magnet high school rotation. That was the office that I first went to when I fell in love with dentistry. I saw his passion. I saw his commitment. I saw just the way he treated and spoke to patients and how they treated and spoke to him. And I said, oh man, this is. I had gone on several rotations before, and they just didn't work for me the way dentistry did. I feel like dentistry is such a privileged position to be in, to be able to help directly, effectively, all kinds of families, and also try to push the envelope with new dental technology. So I said, man, this is really, to me, the epicenter of the healthcare field.
And from your experience so far, is it what you would hope for? Is it I mean, is dentistry as special as you believed?
Absolutely, 100%, more so than I could ever imagine. I've fulfilled my heart in ways that I never thought I could. When I first started practicing, I started at a community health center, and then I would volunteer at a battered women's shelter. And so that really put a light on the difference that I was making. I really felt like that's where I belonged. That's where I needed to be, and that's what got my career started off in such a delightful and bright way.
Yeah. And you work for Rodeo Dental now, one of the practices for Rodeo Dental. Can you talk about that experience, how you chose that, and what it's like working for Rodeo?
So I chose Rodeo based on the reputation that they had in Laredo. There's other companies here in town, but from what I know, Rodeo's reputation was really just a cut above the rest. And after meeting with the owners, meeting with the local docs, and interviewing, I got to see some of that, and I said, you know what, this is they talk the talk and walk the walk here, and so I applied and I had to wait my turn, but finally got in, and so it's been a blast ever since.
Very cool. Yeah, it was so fun to see your team at the annual event, last week in Austin. But we've associated a few times at the Young Dentist program. When it comes to your personal philosophy, your personal goals or mantra in your own personal life, what are you working towards? What are you is Rodeo where you want to be? Is there are you working on CE right now? Do you hope, I mean, where are you going? What are your goals?
So Rodeo is definitely somewhere where I want to be. I think they lead in Laredo, and they continue to lead in Laredo in the right way, putting patients first. And so through Rodeo, I've been able to learn that new technologies and new methods of doing things can be much more effective in treating our patient population in Laredo, especially the type of population that we have here. So I think that's just to me more of the same. Somewhere where the need is great, and somewhere where my heart is filled once again.
Nice.
Yeah,
Can you talk about your experience with Young Dentist program?
absolutely. I first heard about it from you at another annual event. I was very interested. Um, I saw the protocol, I saw the program, the curriculum, things like that, and I said, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this. Um, my experience there was 10 out of 10. Meeting you, meeting Dr. David Hornbrook, meeting the other young dentists, were really put the program really puts you in a position to succeed. It really surrounds you with the tools and the resources and the people that you need to move forward in your career. So ever since the Young Dentist program, I've been actively, and very, how should I say this? Very steadily pursuing other avenues, other passions, and it's just grown for me. The dentistry has grown for me. It's all dentistry really, and I'm starting to find out that I enjoy all these aspects of dentistry.
Very cool. If you were to go back in time and give advice to yourself or to a young dentist who's just starting out, what have you learned that you would share with somebody that's just starting out in dentistry?
That's a great question. I would actually reference Dr. David Hornbrook from the Young Dentist program. He said something that moved me. He said, find your passion as fast as you can. And then when you find it, slow down.
Hmm.
So I would, if I was talking to my younger self, I would say, find your passion as fast as you can. Dive into everything that you can. The dive into dentistry. Dive into your patients. Know more about them. Surround yourself with people that could help you do that. And so I would say to all the young dentists, this program is amazing. Dr. David Hornbrook is amazing. He's not shy about sharing his experiences with you, and he has such a passion for the young dentist program that um, I think if you join this program, you'll really know the difference. You'll really know yourself more.
I love that. Tulio, you are the man. I wish we could work together. I just love your passion, your attitude. Just being around you is the best, man. You're awesome.
I appreciate that, Stu. Yeah, ever since we met, I was like, Crown Council and the people that run it they're doing great things. They do great things. They continue to do great things, and I look forward to working with you more.
Yeah, man. It's fun to hear your story and just to see your passion. Guys like you, doctors like you, I love that you're drawn to Crown Council. We don't have to go and like find you. You are drawn to the people and to the things that are being experienced here. And I'm just grateful you'd share. And man, hopefully we have a long future ahead. And you're going to be the next David Hornbrook, man, teaching the Young Dentist program. So let's do it.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But I'm looking forward to our endeavors.
Cool. All right, man. Thanks for your time. Have a good night. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, Stu. Have a great night. Thank you.
Okay, brother. See ya.
Goodbye.
All right, grateful for Tulio. Thankful for the time that he spent in our Young Dentist program and with me on the live stream. Our final interview is with Hannah Fortier, part of our Young Dentist program. And I asked her to participate in the live stream, to share some of her journey and share some of the things that she experienced as part of the Young Dentist program, to hopefully inspire those who are watching to be part of it, or to encourage other young doctors to be part of it. Each year, we fill this group with about 50 new Crown Council members, young doctors, and it is an incredible lifeblood to our membership and to everything that we're trying to build with our community. So enjoy Hannah's experience, our short interview together, and I'll actually sign off here as Hannah's interview ends. We'll say thank you for joining us on the live stream, and we'll see you next week, every Thursday, 11 o'clock Mountain, as we do our Crown Council live stream broadcast. Thanks, everybody. All right, welcome to Crown Council Live. Stuart Anderson. Although we're not live, it's recorded, Hannah, but that's okay. Just as good. Hey, so we're interviewing Hannah today. She is part of our Young Dentist program. We just finished in July. For those of you that don't know, our Young Dentist program happens every year and has for the last 20 years. It's where we gather together any young dentist 1 to 5 years out of school, and we do 3 live weekends together where David Hornbrook, Chase Larson, and Utah Valley Dental Lab teach cosmetic dentistry training, smile design, case acceptance. And the coolest part is we always pick a patient who is needy, in need of a smile design, and we work with that patient, pay for the smile design. And it's just a wonderful 3 weekends together. Hannah, what do you say?
Yeah, it was good. I agree. I learned
Cool.
a lot. There's a lot crunched into all 3 weekends, but it was good.
I kept saying that to myself. I'm like, there's no way anyone is learning anything here. This is so much information. Hey, will you tell a little bit about where you practice, where you went to dental school, and just a little bit about yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So I am currently in Tampa, Florida, but I kind of grew up all over the place. I spent a lot of time growing up in Minnesota, and then went to undergrad in Missouri, and then somehow ended up in dental school in Boston. So I did a master's program out there before I started school. So I stayed out there for school. Went to Boston University, and then kind of came back down to Missouri, and I did a 1-year AGD program in Kansas City.
Nice.
And then I finished that and moved to Florida and got married and started a job within the matter of several weeks. So July was very busy, July of last year. But now I've been in Florida with my husband for about a year, and been working officially a little bit over a year now. So it's been good.
Nice. And maybe can you pinpoint or talk about where your dentistry journey started? Like, did you have a mentor, or did you, like, when you were in first grade, were you like, I want to be a dentist? Like, how did that start?
I don't think so. Not that I can recall. I did move quite a bit growing up. California to upstate New York. We were in Durham, Raleigh area for a couple years, and then moved to Rochester, Minnesota. My dad is a physician, primarily allergy. So he was doing fellowship and residencies and PhDs and I don't know what else. And so we moved quite a bit. But I think for me, he kind of started out as my main mentor. I knew I wanted to do something somewhat medical related, but I really didn't know what. And then in high school, a lot of my friends' parents, being in Rochester, Minnesota, where Mayo Clinic is, a lot of people are doctors or nurses, or that's just kind of what we are around. But I had an orthodontist, Brent Larson, who both I and all 3 of my siblings did several years of orthodontic treatment with in middle school. And so then when I was in my senior year of high school, we were able to shadow or intern with essentially anyone we wanted to. And so I asked him if he would be willing to let me come in a day or 2 a week, and he said sure. But I think what was cool about that was he was obviously a great orthodontist, but he was also a teacher. So I think, I don't know if he still is or was, the director of the orthodontic department at University of Minnesota. And so I think what also helped is that he was willing to kind of help teach me things and show me things and spend the time doing that, which is not easy. And you have to spend time if you're any kind of mentor, it takes time and effort and
Right.
patience. And so, yeah, so that kind of got me started. He was really great, and I learned a ton from him, and his patients loved him. So then that kind of got me started into thinking, I want to do orthodontics, which then changed a little bit. I did an internship for summer when I was in college at a Salvation Army dental clinic. So I was there pretty much every single day. So I went from kind of one spectrum to another one where the patients had really no money and no kind of dental literacy at all. But we're so, so, so grateful for anything, any kind of treatment. So that was really cool to see too.
Nice.
So I think kind of a combination of both those things when I was in high school and college really shaped me, and kind of knew it was dentistry going into college, and that's where it stayed.
Very cool. That's awesome. I know that you're on this, you're kind of on the other side of dental school and getting started, like you mentioned, that whirlwind.
Yeah.
If you were looking back and you had a group of 10 or 15 young dental students who are just starting, what sort of thing would you tell them that you learned now, looking back the last 5 or 6 years? Not maybe what you would do different, but what advice would you give to young dentists now that you're kind of on this other side?
Yeah, finally. I would say, I guess for me, it would be not to give up ever. I didn't get into dental school the first 2 times that I tried to get in. And I felt like I tried really hard in college. So it wasn't like, I knew I slacked off and then it was my fault. But I felt like I tried really hard. And so it was just super frustrating. I don't feel like I'm a good standardized test taker. And so that would be really difficult. Because you kind of had to prove yourself in a single, several hour exam.
Right.
So I didn't get in the first couple times, and that was really frustrating. And I feel like I let a lot of people down, including myself, during those couple of years. But I got to do a lot during those several years that I think also kind of helped shape me. I spent time with grandparents. And I spent time shadowing and interning and working at other dental offices. And then that kind of led me out to Boston. I applied for a master's program out there, a 1-year master's program, and I got in out in Boston. And so I stayed there for dental school after that. So it was just kind of a long journey to get in for me. And there was a lot of times where I could have given up and had to do so many applications and secondary applications and pay thousands of dollars in application fees.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it would just be really easy to have just said, all right, this isn't for me. I should be doing something else. It's taking a lot out of me, out of my family. But I didn't, and it worked out. So yeah, so I don't know, that might be cliche, but I feel like it's just going to get harder with more people applying, and the things required to get in, it's just going to be harder for students, I think, to get in. So I don't know, just if that's what you want to do, then just keep pushing at it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good. Having now been on the other side of the Young Dentist program, can you share, what was it like? Like, let's say somebody asks you that and they're like, should I do it? What was it like? Can you just, I know what I think it's like, but I don't really know what you think it's like. Can you talk about that?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of things I feel like I could say. I was recommended to do the program by the practice owner that I work with, Dr. Amy Creech, and she's been a member of Crown Council for a while now.
Nice.
So she recommended it to me, as well as we have a TOPS coach, Darcy. and she also recommended it to me.
Cool.
But there's a lot of things that I think have been recommended or that I want to do that, as far as like CE and continued education, like learning things, but that are super expensive. And when you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans getting out of dental school, and then you're also potentially trying to start a family and buy a house, there's a lot going on. So I would say the program is well worth the amount that it costs. Plus, there's not a lot of other programs that I know of that you can get live training, live hands-on like demonstrations while you're there. A lot of them, I think there's a lot of other great CE, but I mean, it's kind of hands-on. You're on one of the typodonts or you're learning from a big screen and not like you get to see what happens directly in the patient's mouth at the same time as the dentists are working on it, as Chase and David are working. So I think that was really cool. You get that personalized experience. They're going through it at the same time as you. I think it's definitely affordable. And like you said, there's so much packed into just those 3 weekends. I think I was looking over, I think I have like 20 pages of notes. So I need to, I've been trying to go back through them, review everything, and really kind of put it into practice for myself. So
Those will be easy to just review as you're implanting.
Right.
Not just
Right.
flip through your notes.
Yeah. Just scan through it real quick before patients.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Exactly.
My favorite part, because it's not something I get to do a lot, is the smile design. Just the patient, the process, the scene, the reveal. It's something that I really envy when it comes to dentists, is how fun and special it is to really change a life through doing a smile design. So all the doctors, they nominate a patient and then we all pick one person. So it's voted upon. And then we fly that patient in and do the work. Can you talk about that experience? Was that just like what you thought of that?
Yeah, that was really cool. The patient that we chose this year, Lily, was amazing. And I think we all know that is not always easy to get a very reliable and easygoing. She was amazing. So yeah, you guys told her, right, or surprised her when she found out?
We did. Yeah, she knew, but then we did like a little reveal in February that she'd been picked. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was great. And she, correct me if I'm wrong, she had a history of, was it bulimia or some eating disorder in the past. So it really had eroded her teeth quite a bit. I think she had past history of smoking, and just some other things going on. She had several root canals. There's some other stuff going on with her mouth, with her teeth. So yeah, she was amazing, and I think it turned out, the result turned out really, really great. She was really happy with everything, and I think all of us were really happy with it as well. So yeah, she really, and I think Chase had said in the last meeting that we had, he had gone back and like looked at photos like before and after, and you see a lot of photos of her before and she's not fully smiling, or she's smiling without her teeth, and then you look at photos of her now and she just has a huge smile on her face. So
yeah, I love it.
That's what it means. Yeah.
What's next for you from dental CE, or what are you working on next? I mean, what's next?
I don't know. There's a lot that I want to do. Yeah, so I don't have a lot planned right now. But hopefully in the near future, between Kois and Spear, those would be on my list to do. The Impress courses I think would be really cool. Dr. Hornbrook's is it full mouth rehab?
That's right.
Course?
Yeah.
is on my list. There's a lot on my list to do. So
Cool.
I love going to these conferences and continuing education learning things, because I learn a lot, and I think that dentistry is changing so much, whether it's technology and the AI stuff and the 3D printing and dental material. There's just so much that's changing, and I think that was another cool thing both with Chase and David, is that they know so much, and David can just rattle off things left and right about biomaterials and different products. And I never felt like he was being pushy with any kind of product. And I think I've gone to quite a few other lectures or CEs that at the end of the day, they're pushing their product, whatever it is, they try and get it in there. And I never felt like that with this course either.
Nice.
He could tell you a million different products and why
So
he
many
likes
products.
each one. And you can't keep up, you can't help. So
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
So I think that was really, really cool too, is they really know what they're talking about, and they both really, really care about their patients. You see that, and also that they can be critical of themselves. And I said this, I think previously, but it's really cool to see that they both can critique themselves, and that they're open about things that they wish they could have or should have done differently on past cases that they've worked on. And again, like I said, it's easy for me to spend hours on social media going through different dentists, pictures and images and cases and how amazing they look, and then be really critical of myself. But they're so open and honest with everything. And they were just there to answer all of our questions that we would throw at them left and right without any kind of context. So they were really great.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It was an incredible learning experience. And when I'm watching the process of doing a smile design, there are so many steps and systems, and it really is inspiring that the craft itself is being perfected by so many young doctors and people who want to do it the very best. And I'm grateful for Hannah, all the young dentists who have participated in the program. They are the best of the best from the aspect of they want the best patient care, which is really fun to see. You guys put so much into learning and wanting the best for your patients. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. You're welcome.
Hey, and I know that Hannah really enjoyed the Young Dentist program because she nominated or referred more people than I've ever had one person refer. You did like 10 people. It was awesome.
Yeah. So there's a group of us from Boston University, from BU. So
Cool.
I think they all should do that, honestly. Like I said, it's a great program. It's well worth the cost, and you learn so much, and obviously you're giving back. It's cool to see that patient that you are giving back that smile to just firsthand in the office. So
Yeah. Hey, Hannah.
great program.
Thanks so much. Grateful for you.
Of course.
Okay, we'll see you around.
Sounds good.